let's go ahead and basically configure this database. Right here, log in into AWS and navigate to Elastic Beanstalk. And here you can see that I do have my environment and the application here, Spring Boot React Full Stack. So let me just click on IDA. And in here, actually, let me just click on environment. And here you can see that if I click on this link, we should get our application. So this is the one which had the static list, right? So only 2 people, and we can't really add no one. And also we cannot change, right? So before, in our application in here, we can go ahead and I can say, for example, Amigos code, hello at amigoscode.com, and then the gender, male, submit. And you can see that we have Amigos code right here, right? And we can delete, so on and so forth. But these changes are running locally, and we want to take these latest changes and redeploy them. So in here, what we need to do is, if I open up AWS console, so here, go ahead and click on configuration right here. And here you can see that we have a bunch of things. So software, instances, capacity, load balancer, security, manage updates, notification. But at the very bottom, you can see that we have this database section here. And let me go ahead and click on edit. So just give it a second, and there we go. So in here, we can configure the database settings. So here you see the snapshot. So whether we want to restore from an existing snapshot. So we're gonna say no, because we're not restoring anything. And then for the database engine in here, so here, let's pick Postgres. And then for the version in here, so instance class. So we have a bunch of these instance classes. So here, you need to be really careful on the database size that you choose. And remember before, I've showed you this page right here. So the AWS free tier. And in here, if I zoom in, so let me just zoom in so you can see properly. So here, have a look. So in here, it says, database free tier Amazon RDS 750 hours per month of dbt2 micro. So this is the smallest database instance that we can have. So, and then you can choose Postgres, MySQL, so on and so forth. And also you have 20 gig of storage SSD and 20 gig of storage for database backups. So if I go back in here, so let's choose, so db.t2 micro, so t2 micro. And then for the storage, so I'm going to leave as 5 gig because I think this is more than enough. Then for username in here, I'm going to say Amigos code. And then for the password, I'm going to say password. But it's better if you choose a very strong password and don't let no one know that password. So password, and then in here, so create snapshot. So basically whether you want a snapshot or not. And basically this gives you the data at the point that you delete your database. And then availability. So here, make sure you choose the low, so 1 AZ, because otherwise if you have the multi AZ, so availability zones, you'll get charged more. So here I'm going to say low AZ and then apply. Now just give it a second. So it's actually updating the environment, and you can see in here creating database named, and this is the name of the database, which is really ugly, but it's fine. And also it has the security group in here. So this is the security group, which is also really ugly name. So we don't have much control when we create the database through this UI, but we can live with it. Now this process can take a while. And in the meantime, if I click on this link right here, our application should be up and running. So you can see while it's actually upgrading the application. So let me just go back. And I'm going to pause this video and then come back when this is done. Right, so this has finished, and you can see that it took about 7 minutes. So at this point, nothing has changed. Again, nothing has changed. And I can click on this URL and the application should be up and running fine. but still we are using this static data, and we have also made a bunch of new changes. So just to show you, so right here, so what we have currently is the load balancer. We have the auto scaling with one instance for now. And in here, we have also created the database. So this is what we've just done. Now that we have the database up and running, let's go ahead and change our backend to point to this database.